You're watching Mobile World Live, and I'm delighted to be joined by two companies making waves in the consumer eSIM market. First up, I'm joined by Olivier Leroux. Olivier is CEO and President of Oasis Smart SIM. Now, Oasis Smart SIM are a leader in the eSIM and SIM technology space. Olivier, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Justin. Very happy to be with you today.
Great to see you, Olivier. And joining myself and Olivier is Avneesh Prakash. Avneesh is VP Mobility and IoT Solutions at Global Digital Ecosystem Enabler Tata Communications. Avneesh, thanks for joining us.
Hello, Justin. Glad to be here.
Thanks, Avneesh. Now, Olivier, if I can come to you first. Of course, we've heard a lot about eSIM for IoT, but what about consumer eSIM? Tell us, how do you see eSIM transforming the mobile consumer experience?
Well, good question, Justin. Let's not forget first that eSIM was designed and created to improve the design of the smartphone, to improve the security, and also with some background of environmental perspective. We cannot continue to produce plastic cards and everything. We will see today that eSIM for consumer is transforming the ecosystem and the way we attract customers to mobile network. But let's not forget it has already direct impact in our life. You know, we've seen this summer some people losing their card and then suddenly being able to replace their SIM cards through eSIM in a fraction of a second. We start to see some traveling business restarting thanks to eSIM, and we will see in the near future really attractive offer for family usage to get into companion device and everything. So yes, eSIM for consumer will transform our life and is already transforming the life.
Avneesh, what do you think is going to be the biggest transformation that we can expect as eSIM gets readily adopted?
I think, Justin, the biggest transformation is going to be in the area of how mobility and mobility services are going to be consumed in the future. So for the consumers, this will unleash an unprecedented freedom of choice, choice of the service provider, choice of the companion devices as people move around with the circle of smart devices. So that's very, very from a consumer perspective. On the other hand, service providers, mobile operators, I think will need to fundamentally change their customer engagement models, how they structure their offers, how they engage with their end customers on these offers, how they manage customer life cycle. And all this ultimately is going to bring about some really superlative next generation consumer experiences and change the consumption patterns across, I believe.
Yeah, Avneesh, you touched there on some of the kind of business mind shifts that might have to happen. Olivier, what are the other challenges and blocks? I'm sure this isn't going to be totally plain sailing, right?
No, I mean, let's be honest. We've been facing a lot of challenge since eSIM for consumer device were designed and standardized by GSMA. And I would say that the challenge were in two main areas. The first were the handset availability. eSIM were supported only by one or two brands in high-end phone. It was considered like a luxury offer, something for privileged user or whatever. And the second thing, let's be honest, some MNO were very reluctant to eSIM for consumer. The ownership of the consumer was at stake. Will it increase the churn? Will it facilitate some new entrant in the market or whatever? I think we've passed through those two main challenges. Most of the brands are now supporting or announced they will support eSIM, and I would say that MNO have settled nicely with eSIM now. So we are entering into the real challenge, how to bring eSIM into the customer journey, which will remain hybrid, okay? Still there will be SIM, there will be eSIM. And therefore, as Avneesh was saying, you really need to redesign your customer journey. Fundamentally, we believe that this is a massive opportunity to rethink in a fully digital way, the way to acquire customer. And we think this is the main, not challenge, but this is the main opportunity that eSIM will bring to the market in the year to come.
Some of our viewers might be wondering about the relationship between Tata Communications and Oasis. Avneesh, tell us how and why are you working together to make eSIM a reality?
So, Justin, Tata Communications acquired a majority stake in Oasis end of December last year. And that actually brought together the complementary offers that the two organizations have, not just the complementary offers, the complementary technologies, and our core R&D strengths globally. And if you look at what Tata Communications brings to the world through our mobility and connectivity offers, Move is the platform through which we bring ubiquitous connectivity to enterprises across the world as they enable, they provision, and they connect and lifecycle manage their IoT and consumer devices. Now Oasis eSIM platform and capabilities are a fundamental ingredient to that, and together we are bringing together a zero trust and a zero touch connectivity and mobility management offer to our customers in various segments, be it connected cars, MVNOs, media, logistics, IoT. So it's a fundamental ingredient. In Oasis, we see a very agile, cloud-first, digitally native organization, and the two organizations have synchronized their R&Ds to bring about this capability as we continue to innovate on Move as well as the eSIM capabilities. What it means to our end customers is that as they scale up their operations, as they scale up their IoT farms, they can leave the complexity, the technology complexity to us to handle, and we let them grow globally. Now, just take an example in the consumer world that we've been speaking about. Together we are co-designing a fundamentally transformative way of onboarding a customer, activating a SIM, and lifecycle managing a SIM. Our eKYC eSIM offer is going to enable mobile operators to fundamentally offer a different consumer experience while also broadening their own reach digitally in their constituency at a lower cost. So that's the kind of example which brings together the synergy of both the organizations and helps us address a very core market need.
Avneesh, Olivier, it's been great to find out more about your aspirations and ambitions for the eSIM market. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you for having us.